Now let's solve the question about the continuity, in which you have to discuss the continuity of the piecewise function. Now look at the first question. Evaluate each piecewise function for x equals to -1 and x equals to 3. It means that you have to tell that at x equals to -1 and n equal to 3, the function is continuous or not. Not only this, according to the question, the conditions are given according to which you have to see that x is less than 0, follow the equation 3x squared plus 1, and x is greater than and equal to 0, you have to follow 5x minus 2. So you have to study the continuity at 0 also. So let's solve how we solve the question. First of all, let's solve the question. In order to solve the continuity questions, we need the data to be written on one side. That means limit from when x approaches to 0 from the left side. We need limit x approaches to 0 from the right side. We also need limit x approaches to 0 from both sides, and the continuity cannot be done if we do not read f of 0. Now 0 from the left side means x is less than 0, which means that follow the equation 3x squared plus 1. X greater than 0, it means 0 from the right hand side. So follow the equation 5x minus 2. In order to read the both side limit, you have to see the result of both sides to conclude your final limits, and f of 0 means x is equals to 0, which can be found by writing the second equation. So one by one, all of them are the polynomial equations. So one by one, just substitute x by 0. It means apply the limit. So 3 times 0 square plus 1 equals to 1. And 5 times 0 minus 2, answer is -2. You can see that limit x approaches to 0 from the left side is not equals to limit x approaches to 0 from the right side, because their values are not same. So you can write that from both sides the limit does not exist. Now of course, if the limit does not exist, it means that it is not equal to the function itself, which is -2. So you can also conclude that limit x approaches to 0 from the both side not equals to f of 0. These equations you must write, because without writing the reasons, the continuity cannot be discussed completely. It means you should tell us that whether the limit and the function are equal or not equal, if they are equal or not equal to each other. Now once it is done, now you can see that you have to read the limit from when x approaches to -1 from both sides, and also you have to conclude f of 1. Now why you will not write here -1 from the left side, -1 from the right side? If you are writing, that's absolutely fine. But for me, 1 from the right side, 1 from the left side, you have to study, or you have to take the first equation only. Why? Because -1 is less than 0. So you have to use the equation. One second, we can erase this thing. You can write that 1 from -1 from both sides, you will use the equation 3x squared plus 1. And for f of 1, of course, x is less than 0. So here also you will use the same equation. And then in the end, you will conclude that limit x approaches to -1 is equal or is not equals to f of -1. Now what is meant by this thing? It means that apply the limit -1, means substitute -1 in place of x, and you will get 3, 4. and here also you will get the same thing because the equations are exactly same. So from here you can conclude that limits and the function are equal. Now, not only this, you have to read the limit and the function at x equals to 3. Now, for limit x equals to 3, you will write limit x approaches to 3 from the left and from the right. No need, because in both the way you will take the second equation. Why? Because the x is greater and equals to 0 in the second equation. And similarly, you have to read f of 3. So you have to take the same equation. Now apply the limit and you will get, sorry, and you will get 13 here and similarly 13 on the next one. Now you can say here that limit x approaches to 3 from both sides is equals to f of 3. So what have you observed? What have you observed? In the first one, the function is discontinuous at 0. The function is discontinuous at 0, but the function is continuous at x equals to -1 and x equals to 3. So all the conditions which they ask you are now over here. Now let's see the same question and see how can we graph them. So here I am just trying to make the graph for you. Now there are two things, that you use the graphic calculator and graph that directly according to the condition, and if not, then make the table and make a proper graph. But even for the proper graph you need only 1 or 2 points so that you can understand that what will happen in the graph. So let's make x and y. Now you have to take y is less than 0. Y is less than 0. It means you will use the equation 3x square plus 1. I told you many times that whenever you are sketching the graph, do not take this point. Start from this point. And now you might ask me that why we are taking 0 whereas 0 is not included in the equation. No problems. If some number is not included, or whether it is included or not included in the equation, you have to use, or you have to start from the same number. But in the sketching, if you have any condition x is less than or x is greater than, show it with the hollow point, and if x is greater equals to or x is less than equal to, show it with the dark shaded point. So now here we will start the 0. Take all the numbers that are less than 0. So put it one by one. You will get 1, and here you will get 4 and -4. So 4 times 3, 12, and here 30. So let's sketch the first situation. That means 0 and 1, -1 and 4, and -2 and 13, somewhere here. And you can see it is a quadratic function, so it will be a kind of parabola. Now the first point, that is on the 0, is the hollow point because it is not included. Let's see what will happen at the second question. And you can see on -1 it is continuous. Okay. Now what will happen in the second situation, that is x is greater equals to 0. Now you have to use the equation, that is 5x minus 2. So you will start from 0 and take the biggest number, 1, 2 and 3. Why I am writing till 3? Because they are asking us to read the graph at 3 also. So if I put here 0, I will get -2. If I put 1, so I will get 3. If I write here 10, so I will get 8. And if I get 3, so I will get 30. So 0 and -2, that is over here, and -2 is included. So I will make a shaded point. 1 and 3, 1, 2 and 3. Then 2 and 8. 1 and 3 here somewhere, okay, and 2 and 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 somewhere here, and 3 and 13 somewhere here, and it is a linear function, so of course you will get a straight line and so on. So you can see that this is the broken line, so you can say that limit does not exist and even the function is not equals to the limit. Let's solve the same kind of the question. First of all, they are asking you to find out, evaluate g of 1. Now g of 1 means you have to see where g equal sign is written with the 1. So that is equals to -1, our second equation. 4 from the right hand side, read the limit. X approaches to 4 from the right hand side, it means x is greater than 1, so you will take the 2x, so 2 times 4, which will gives you 8. Now -2 means x is less than 1, so you will read the first equation, that is -x square plus 3. So you will get here -2 whole square plus 3. So it will gives you 4 minus 4 plus 3 gives you -1. Now 1 from the left hand side means that x should be less than 1, like the -2. So you will get here -1, negative, and x is 1 from the left side is negative and +1 whole square plus 3. It means 1 from the left side, you will read the first equation. So it will be -1 plus 3. It means you will get +2. Now 1 from the right side means x is greater than 1. So you will use the equation 2x. That means 2 times 1, which will gives you 2. 1 from the both side means limit from the left side should be equals to limit from the right hand side, which will gives you the answer as 2. And here -2 from the both side. Yes, correct. So let's see what they are asking you. They are asking you to discuss the continuity at 1 especially. It means you will find out limit x approaches to 1 from the left side. You will find out limit x approaches to 1 from the right hand side. You will also find out limit x approaches to 1 from both sides and f of 1. So 1 from the left side, you will use the equation -x square plus 3. 1 from the right hand side, you will use the equation 2x. To read equation from both sides, you depend on the result of both the limits, and f of 1 is -1 because you will read the x equal 1 sides. Apply the limit. So -1 plus 3 you will get 2. 2 times 1 you will get 2, and since both the results are equal, so limit from the both side is 2. But you can say that the limits are equal, but the limit and the function are not equal. So your last conclusion, limit x approaches to 1 from the both sides from the left hand side is equals to the limit x approaches to 1 from the right hand side, but the limit x approaches to 1 from both sides is not equals to f of 1. Hence, the function is discontinuous at x equals to 1. So you must write the conclusion. Without it, the question cannot be completed. Now let's see how we will make a graph. So quickly we will make the graph. In the graph, let's see here, here we will take x is less than 1. It means we will take x and y values. Y values we are taking -x square plus 3, and we start from the number which is given in the table. So 1, 0, -1. If we put here -1 square plus 3, we will get the 2. And here we will get 0 square plus 3. So answer is 3. And if we put here negative 1 whole square plus 3. So 1 negative 1 plus 3, answer is 2. So let's see how can we make this one. So this is 1, 0 and negative 1. So on the 1 the answer is 2. On the 0 answer is 3. And on negative 1 the answer is 2. But x is less than 1, it means on the 1 the point will be hollow. The reason is it is not included. Now let's make the second graph, which is saying that x equals to 1, it is equals to negative 1. So on the 1 the answer is negative 1 is exactly a point, because this is only one point. Now we have another thing, that x is greater than 1. Greater than 1 means you will use the equation 2x, but we will start from 1 and take the bigger side. So 1, 2 and 3. So 2 times 1 will gives you 2. 2 times 2 gives you 4 and 2 times 3 gives you 6. So you will take on the 1, the answer is 2, that is same as the previous one. So what you have to do, you have to shade it, because I told you before that hollow point and the shaded point, in the result you will get a shaded point. Now 2 and 4 is this one, and 3 and 6 somewhere here, and make a straight line. So here you can say that the limits are existing because they are reaching on the one to the same height, but their value at f function value is not equal. Now let's study one by one these questions, and we will see that what will happen and how to discuss the continuity of these functions. Okay, let's evaluate the limits at this given points. So here limit x approaches to 0, sine 2x over x. It is a trigonometric function, and we must know that limit x approaches to 0, sine x over x is equals to 1. And we studied that if here with the trigonometric, with the angle 2 is written, so in the denominator you need the 2 also. Since you don't have the 2, so you write here means divide by the 2, and if you are dividing here, you have to multiply with the 2 in order to balance the equation. So now this is 2, and the whole equation becomes equals to, it all will be equal to 1. So 2 times 1 will gives you 2. Now after that, let's read the limit at x when x approaches to negative 3. And you know that we cannot read the limit until or unless we factorize the quadratic equation to sort out our answer. So we will have x squared plus x minus 6. On factoring, we will get x plus 3 and x minus 2. So now x plus 3 and x minus 2. Now x minus 2 and x minus 2 cancel. So you will have limit x approaches to negative 3, 1 over x plus 3. Now if I apply here the limit negative 3 plus 3, of course I will get an error. And I told you whenever we have an error, it means we always write the infinity. Now, whether it is positive infinity or negative infinity, we have to sort out. And then limit from the both sides doesn't exist because of unbounded behavior. Now, write the domain, as it is important that to find out that really at negative 3, this is the vertical asymptote. We take the denominator and we will write not equals to 0. And you can say that x not equals to negative 3 and x not equals to 2. Negative, the part that cancelled out is the whole, whereas the part that doesn't cancel out in the equation is the vertical asymptote. So at negative 3 is the vertical asymptote. If you go to the calculator and you will graph from the calculator, you will get a graph like one on this side, it is going down, On the negative 3, this is the vertical asymptote and the graph looks like this. So you will write limit x approaches to negative 3 from the left side and limit x approaches to negative 3 from the both sides. Now negative 3 from the left side, it is going down. So we will write here negative infinity. From the right side, the graph is going up. So you can write positive infinity. Now from the both sides, since it is an asymptote, so the from both side limit does not exist. And why? What is the discontinuity? The discontinuity is said to be unbounded behavior. Now here the function has a square root. So whenever we have a square root, we always rationalize the function. So write multiply and divide with the conjugate of the numerator, that is square root 10 minus x minus 4 minus changes into plus 4. Whatever you write on the top, you have to divide or write down in the denominator also. Now on the top, you can see that we can apply the formula a minus b and a plus b, and it is equals to a square minus b square. So we can write here limit x approaches to negative 6. A square, it means the first part of the equation with whole square minus in the formula, and b square means second part of the expression with the square. In the denominator, nothing is similar, so just write it in the proper way in brackets. Now solve the numerator and don't do anything with the denominator. So in the numerator you can see that square root and square cancel. So you will get 10 minus x minus 4 square means 16. The denominator stay as it is. So we will have 10 minus x plus 4. Now solve 10 minus 16. You will get negative 6, and on the top you have negative x also. Okay. Now denominator, you will have what? You will have x plus 4, and then you will have 10 minus x plus 4. Now limit x approaches to negative 6. Now substitute the limit. So you will have negative 6 divided by negative 6 plus 4, and then inside you will get 10 negative 6 plus 4. Now negative, so 6 minus 6 is 0, and whatever you will get here negative 2, and 10 plus 6 16, 16 plus 4 it will be square root 10. 16 is 4 plus 4, it will gives you 8. So 0 divided by negative 16, so the answer is 0. So now understand that even we have done the whole thing by thinking that we might get the indeterminate form. We can stop this equation by writing simple thing, means rather than doing all these steps, we can apply the limit at one time on the top, that means 10 minus and minus 16 minus 6 minus 4 divided by minus 6 plus 4 in the equation, and we will come up as 16 minus 4 divided by minus 2. So that will gives you answer as 0. It is not the indeterminate form. So rather than performing all these steps, if you just apply the limits directly in the first step, you come up with an answer. Because x plus 4, because the domain is x plus 4 not equals to 0, yani x not equals to negative 4, and this negative 4 is not written in the limits. So we can avoid doing all these steps, only write this box steps and get the answer as 0. But if we compare this question with another question that is written on the next side, if we apply here the 0, so you will get here 0 over 0, that is the indeterminate form. So all these steps which you did in the starting, you have to perform over here. So let's solve the B question in the next slide. So of course here we will apply the idea of making, dividing and multiplying with the conjugate, because if we apply the 0 over here, 0 here, so we come up with the indeterminate form. So here you will write x plus 5 plus square root 5 on the top, and same thing you will write in the denominator. Now we know that a minus b and a plus b equals to a square minus b square. So what you have to do, write the first thing, that means the first term x plus 5 with whole square, minus b square, it means the second term with the square. Don't forget to write limit everywhere. Denominator has no common terms, so just write them together as and separate them with the multiplication sign. Square and square roots cancel. So we will get x plus 5 minus 5 divided by x square root x plus 5 plus square root of 5. Minus 5 and positive 5 cancel, and similarly now left only x on the top, so that x can be cancelled with the denominator x. Do not cancel the x until all the terms in the numerators are cancelled. Now x approaches to 0, 1 over square root of x plus 5 plus square root of 5. Apply the limit and you will get 0 plus square root, 0 plus 5 plus square root of 5. Write it in the calculator or do it mentally. You will get 2 square root of 5. And that is your answer for the rationalization.